I'm always wondering when the next train, tram, tube or bus is due, and to that end I've got a big pile of timetables. But it's the 21st century. Perhaps what I really need is my own destination board.
Platform 2 for the 1456 Transport for Wales service to Pwllheli. Calling at Criccieth, Panacayan, Aberec and Pwllheli. Panacayan and Aberec are request stops, and passengers for these stations should ask the conductor on the train to arrange for the train to stop to allow them to leave. Platform 2 for the 1456 Transport for Wales service to Pwllheli.
So let's take a look at this device from UK departure boards. First thing that impresses me is it is actually really well made. Nice casing, sort of thing you could hang on your wall quite happily. It really doesn't look like something that's been knocked up in a shed. I've got the intermediate size version here, which is 60 centimetres long, 12 centimetres deep, and it's 4 centimetres thick. Great. There are a larger version at 1 metre, and there was also a 10 centimetre version. There are fixings for hanging it on your wall, and those are all provided as well to go in the slots that are on the back of the device. Power socket on one end and an SD card socket. I'm not quite sure what that's for. There's no indication there, but it doesn't matter. This is all good, and you've got a board full of coloured LEDs, which is great. First job, plug it into the mains, and power supply is also provided, and it will sit there then initializing and looking for your Wi-Fi. Now this is the first thing you have to do, and also probably the most complicated thing, and it's not a difficult job, is to point it at your Wi-Fi so it can find the live data sources it's going to need to display your information. And we'll let it initialize and then have a play.
Llandequin, Telsanau, Tigwyn, Llandannog, Pensan, Llanbedr, Different or Dudwy, Tallybunt, Llanaber, Morfa Mawdach, Cloyngerel, Tonfanai and Penhelig are request stops, and passengers for these stations should ask the conductor on the train to arrange for the train to stop to allow them to leave. Platform 1 for the 1601 Transport for Wales service to Birmingham International.
And there we have it. The station name board believes it's in Porthmadog at the moment, and it can actually speak Welsh. Now, all the controls are available via a web page. Now, you can do this on your computer, but I'm doing it on my phone because it's easier. I can just hold it into shot.
Platform 1 for the 1601 Transport for Wales service to Birmingham International. Calling at Minford.
Let's start by switching off the audio, because that is definitely going to be annoying if you've got it stuck on your wall all the time. Okay, now we've been quiet. Let's try changing the station. And I'm going to select, I think, York. Be nice. You've got all the stations in the country as far as I can tell, and interestingly it also tells me that there's a webcam available for that, and I just press the button that says update board, and as if by magic the board changes and suddenly we're in York. Or at least it will be in a few seconds when it translates. There we go. Okay, now we are in York. We have Manchester Victoria on time, and Newcastle followed by Blackpool North as trains. The great thing about this is this board is very, very configurable. So if we just scroll through some of the options, look, I can change the platform that I'm using. The data feed is different data feeds available, ferries, buses, all those sort of things that can go on there. You can have a random option where it picks a random station for you. Now that could be great quiz fun for just leave this on the wall and guess which station you're looking at every hour or so. Lots of options, the various things you can do, how fast the animation goes, and also weather and news can be put onto the board as well. Full station messages. You can change the colour of all the text. So if you've ever looked at one of these boards and thought, I'd rather have different colour on there, then you can do. There are also different voice packs. You can purchase extra voice packs for the board so you get different voices on there, and that is all very, very good. Now, I say there is a web page version of this and it's fun to play with, but there's lots more options. Lordy, Lordy, Mary Poppins, you're in a right 2 and 8 because you don't know when your next tube thing's running. Okay, well, Baker Street's one fairly close to where I get to London, and I can update the board, and I'm actually going to look at all the lines. I can change the lines, I can change the platforms that I'm looking at, and again, lots and lots of options here. As we can see from the board, the next train out of Baker Street is going to Aldgate, and we've got Stratford that we're going to, Queen's Park. Look at that, you can actually see all the stations that things are going to. Now again, this actually might be quite useful, because if you work in London, you could have the smaller version of this on your desk, and you could actually know when the tubes are running, or how fast you've got to run down to the tube station. Look out for the tube, it's coming, it's coming. Now, as well as tubes, this can also do buses, so I can pick a bus stop from the map, and that should allow me to look at the buses that are coming. Now, in Leamington, we don't have very many of these sort of handy boards that tell you when your buses are due. So the fact that handily, we don't appear to have many buses. Let's try for a different stop. That one there definitely should have some. There we are. We can actually look at the bus times. Now, this genuinely is useful. I can see having this on my wall at home and knowing when the next bus is due, because it's about a 3-minute walk from my house to the bus stop, and if it's raining, could save me getting wet. So, again, an absolutely cracking bit of information. But let's be honest, most of us are mostly interested in the trains, and perhaps one of the interesting things is that you can go to preserved railways as well. There's a selection of preserved railways that are on this. So I'm going to try for Sheffield Park on the Bluebell Railway, and hopefully we should get out to find out what's running there. Here we go. East Grinstead, unsurprisingly, is the next stop, but we've got the stations it's calling out, and very interesting, the loco that's in use on the train. So Sir Archibald Sinclair is pulling the next train, and so again, fascinating little bit of information there. I'll be honest, this is proper geeky territory. You can spend hours and hours messing around, picking different stations, altering the parameters. For example, I've got freight services switched on this, so I can actually look at it and say, hey, when's the freight coming through? You don't get that on a destination board on the at the station. And of course, you won't be surprised to know tram and metro services are available. And I've at the moment picked Manchester Airport as the tram service I'm looking at. But you can pick any tram stop that you particularly like. Apparently, there is a Victoria tram approaching right now. And again, very useful, very fascinating. So there we go, a quick look at UK Departure Board. I've shown this to quite a few people who are a bit transport nerdy like me, and without exception, they've all looked at it and gone, oh, I could really fancy having one of those stuck on my wall. And I really get that. It's well designed, it's simple to set up, and certainly offers a great amount of, shall we say, play value as you fiddle with all the settings, work your way through all the stations up and down the country, and generally just enjoy playing around with this thing. It's, like any model railway, it's not an essential, but boy, is it good fun. Happy train spotting.